Friday.
Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday. Freestyle Friday coming live and direct.
Cultural effect. Old Dirty Basement live and uncut.
Hello.
What's going on, ladies?
Yes. Welcome to an exquisite episode of Old Dirty Basement.
Yeah.
Trying something new.
Yeah.
Friday Freestyle.
Is that was freestyling with that? Yeah.
I
See, in a regular episode, you don't get none of that.
Nope.
That
No.
stuff. That's freestyle.
We're breaking
It
it
is.
down, boogie down style.
Yeah. This is exciting, Dave. We've never freestyled like this.
Well, I figured with the holidays coming up, Christmas, New Year, all that good stuff, throw an episode together, something fun. And people seem to like when we get off track sometime.
Yeah, they're always
figured-
fun. They're
Yeah.
always fun.
Yeah, so this entire episode will be us completely
Having
off
fun.
the tracks. There is nothing. There's no script. There's no nothing. It's just three dudes talking.
Yeah. Speaking of talking, how was your guys' day today? Anything good? Anything good happen?
Can't complain.
Nah, I could complain,
typical-
but what's the point?
Yeah, typical Wednesday.
Did we all work today? I went to work today. I did a full
did.
day.
Yeah, I did.
I never stop working.
Constantly. Working right now.
There's that. Yeah.
The gift that keeps giving.
Hear the money rolling in.
Yeah, right?
Shh, it's money rolling.
Yep. But,
So
yes.
what's new with you guys? What's going on? What's striking your fancy these days?
Yeah, so, Matt, why don't you start us off with
With what?
your topic?
My top. So many topics, but one kind of jumped out at me, like a shark, Jaws in particular. Not the actual movie, but like I'm just think of that, like a shark jumping out at me.
Right.
But it wasn't a shark; it was a clown.
Yeah, Wrinkles.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I watched it last night.
The documentary is really cool. Like, what's that? Netflix, right?
It's on, you can catch it on Peacock,
Okay, I
And
always
Prime.
just say Netflix.
Prime as well. I checked on Netflix, and because I thought you said Netflix initially.
That's all I do say. Like it's,
And
you can find it eventually.
It's funny, Netflix will, if you put that in, it's not there. It'll just send you other stuff you might like. You know what I mean? But I found it on Peacock and also Prime as well. I watched it on Peacock.
Did you ever look at like your stuff you might like the algorithms they catch on like your Peacock or your Tubi
Yes.
compared to stuff like your wife would watch?
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's pretty different. Yeah.
You look at the well. So if you're using the same, I understand what you're saying. You put it all together. It's like what do I give a shit about a British baking show? What do I give a shit about
exactly
the Real Housewives of some big town?
Hotlanta.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I know when my kids are on like maybe my Netflix or something, like, Dad, what's this movie here about, like something killing people or I don't know, these murders and like
Right.
3 Gacy episodes and Ted Bundy.
That's all my stuff is, basically.
Yeah, it's all so it gets all they think we're like trying to be a serial killer or something from just what we do for a living.
You can learn.
So, Zap, did you know about Wrinkles at all?
I did not. So I overheard Matt, I believe it was a week or two ago, mentioning the topic of Wrinkles. Like, hey, man, I came across this thing. It's the wildest thing. It's some creepy-ass clown that rolls around town, prompted by parents to do this to scare the shit out of their kids. Now, I'm sure I'm ruining the story. Matt.
No,
Matt
not
or
at all.
Dave, walk all of us through who in the hell is Wrinkles the Clown?
Well, it's not even like a walkthrough. Like this guy, he started off. He does this video with his I don't know if it's his daughter or somebody in the family. You can tell because they have it scripted. But these kids were seeing this guy Wrinkles the Clown. He would come out of underneath this trundle bed.
Yes.
And he kind of pushes away, and it looks like this actual clown. Like the way they had it, it's like grimy and
Oh, yeah, like a closed circuit television camera.
Exactly. And like he lays like a little sock puppet near this girl and like shuts the camera off. So these kids seen this Wrinkles the Clown guy, and they start freaking out.
Well, he had like promotional stuff made up, stickers with his phone number and flyers, and he'd put them up all over town down in Florida.
See, that's funny you say that because I actually have his number written down, and I don't know if we could try to call it to see if we would get his voicemail
Oh
or if
God.
like that.
I'm sure you could.
Do you want to actually like try it?
Oh,
I can
man.
try it.
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, you have at it, and you use your phone so he can call you back.
Put it on speed. Yeah, because, I don't want, I don't want my
Actually,
number
yeah, you're right. Like it'll go in this.
in that database.
Then I'll end up losing my, like, I'll have no money in my account.
Yeah, right.
And be like, Wrinkles gotcha, baby.
I mean, you can say the number maybe on if anybody wants to.
Yeah, the number is anywhere if you want to try it. But yeah, I kind of thought what you guys just said, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or else But the number is 407. What area code is that? Is that Florida?
That's Florida, yeah.
Okay. 407-734-0254.
So this is a dude who dresses up as a creepy clown, and he's engaged by whomever. He's hired by whomever to basically scare the shit out of kids.
Yeah, so what he would do is you could have him, a lot of times it's just the call itself. So if the kids are acting up, the parents will put it on speakerphone and call Wrinkles. And then all of a sudden the kid's like, oh, I'm sorry, and he'll cry.
The kid starts going nuts.
No, I'm sorry, you know, and then the parents will be like, all right, well, he or she's acting better now, so hopefully we don't have to call you back. And but it's gone to the point where parents would give him a couple $100, correct?
Yeah, he would. Well, the way they had this documentary done, it was showing this guy that was like homeless. He lived in like the old guy VW or something like that.
It was like a Dodge conversion van
Nice.
type thing, like not even a conversion van, but one of those big white vans with like a stove in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure. Yeah.
Like a camping van, I guess.
Yeah, camping van. But they try to make it like real creepy. There's this like old guy with white hair, and he's like sweating all the time because he's in Florida
Right.
in a conversion van, like eating eggs and drinking like a natty ice. And so they're trying to make the documentary out to be this guy, but it's not. It's an actual real guy that does this, but he didn't want his name or his face to be seen because of all the calls he gets and stuff anyway.
He had a voice kind of like the clown from Simpsons.
Krusty.
Yeah, didn't you think he kind of sounded like that?
Yeah,
Herschel,
a little bit.
Herschel Krastovsky.
Is that his real name?
That is his real name.
We want crunchy.
Right.
We want crunchy. You remember that episode?
I do.
That's a good one. But yeah, he kind of or that and Frank Rizzo. If anybody knows who Frank Rizzo
from
is,
Jerky Boys.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Yeah, kids, hey, your parents just called me. I'm gonna come over here and eat you, okay?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And but when the kids would hear, like the parents would call and the kids would hear this guy's voice and they just get freaked out and start going nuts.
Yeah, it was. They had like a lot of kids on there being interviewed. These kids would try to call Wrinkles themselves. One kid did you see that, like 11-year-old that was obsessed with clowns, and he himself would dress up like a clown and.
He's going to be on one of our other shows.
Yeah, I think down the road.
He was like, "Here's my Wrinkles mask, and here's my knife that I got at the store. Look, this is how I'm going to show my dad here. I'm going to kill my dad, and we're going to watch this."
He was like, "Well, if it was me, what I'd do is I'd hide under here, and then I'd come up and climb up on the bunk, and then I'd make some noise and do like." The kid was kind of demented sounding. You know what I mean? The stuff that he wanted. I mean, it wasn't too crazy, but he was just way obsessed with these clowns.
But then they had people that were against Wrinkles because they were like, which I think these guys are weirder than an actual Wrinkles character, like the ones that are real clowns or try to.
Oh, those guys, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Look, I like to go to parties and make unicorns and balloon puppets." But those guys are like the weird ones, I think.
They were showing clown culture, like from back in the day, like, you know, the different kind of clowns. What was that one where there was like a puppet show over in England, and there was that was one of the first. Punch? Is that what it was? One of the first.
Punch and Judy.
That's it. Yeah, That they said that was one of the first like evil clowns and the kids like ate it up and loved it.
But, which Punch till today, like that clown is like big with the Punch cigars. He's still like their symbol. But then then they started making clowns like killer clowns from outer space.
Love that one. Yeah.
And
I still have yet to watch it. I'm gonna get there. I promise. I'll get there.
I just got a Killer Clowns T-shirt actually.
Really?
Yeah. When we were down at the mall at the Park City Mall. Yes.
Was that like a Spencer's Gifts or?
It was at Spencer's. Yeah.
What's the other one? Spencer's, and where do the other gothy kids go?
Hot Topics.
Hot Topics.
Hot Topic. Yeah.
If you want to get any like chains on your jeans or anything,
on your Jenko jeans.
Jenko. That's right.
It's a good place to go.
I was in there with my son. He was looking around at stuff, and I saw they were like, buy 2 T-shirts for
$147.
Yeah.
Get one free.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
But no, this documentary is like, I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, it's like an hour and 20 minutes. I watched most of it. I think I missed like the last 10 minutes. But like my wife was like, she was like, who the hell would ever do that to their kids? And they even had a like a psychiatrist on there was saying like, if you were to do that to a kid, like how you would screw them up for life and all that, like to use.
I don't understand that.
But I mean,
I do. I can understand that to an extent. I mean, think about it. Now, when we were kids, just a little side topic. You know what? I'll get back to this. I'm sorry, Dave. I cut you off.
No, I was saying I think I know where you're going with this, but I know like like you think about things that even like I'm just trying to think of an example. I mean that you terrorize kids with different things. Like at the Halloween time. I mean,
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. It's a little different because
Mhm.
this seems even more real.
So, but you walking around in a Mike Myers costume, standing there on a corner on Halloween, how is that any different? Or how is us being afraid of Jason or Mike Myers any different than these kids in Florida being afraid of Wrinkles the
So
Clown?
that's a random act of one dude not being prompted by anyone else. This guy, this Wrinkles the jerk off, is being
Yeah, that's how he talks. Yeah, like that. He's like, yeah, these kids are jerk-offs.
he's being engaged or approached or whatever by these kids' parents with the intent of the parents to scare the shit out of their kids.
Yeah, it's like 3 o'clock high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So where I was going to go earlier is how there's the random traumatizations, right? So think about when we were coming up, some of the shit that we came up with. One in particular,
Belts?
no.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm all for paddling. Don't
Right.
get me. I love paddling.
That's a paddling.
The Never-Ending Story,
Oh, the movie?
the movie.
Yeah.
So what did we see in that? We saw not just a whole planet die and everybody on it die. And this is a kid's movie, but we saw specifically Atreyu's horse just get drowned in this big
In the tar pit
pool
thing.
of tar.
Yeah.
Like, this is a kid that just lost his best friend, his horse, his favorite thing in the whole world. Like, that's messed up, man.
It's traumatizing.
Hell yeah. If you're a little kid watching that, that's going to scar you, man.
No, I agree. I know. There's
Maybe
a lot
not
of
as
things.
much as Wrinkles the jerk off, but surely to some extent.
I mean, you think you're right because there's a lot of movies as a kid that terrorized me. You know what I mean? Or shows or stuff that like stuck with me for days. But I guess with that,
Well, that's like The Exorcist. I mean,
well, yeah,
I couldn't.
But you weren't. I guess with that, you weren't.
I was a kid, but it wasn't something like. But I don't know. I think
The Exorcist wasn't meant for kids to watch.
no.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, like growing up Catholic, you kind of had like Wrinkles the Clown's kind of like the devil.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You go to
That's
confession
fair.
because you don't want like the devil to take you to hell.
Right.
It's kind of like the same thing.
That-
like your
that's a
parents are
good- yeah, that's a
Santa
good-
Claus. Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like you're not being good. Hey, Santa knows what you guys are doing. They have
Or-
a whole song about it.
Or over in Europe, Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. You don't want Krampus taking your shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Krampus is a creepy dude.
Krampus is, but
That's what girls got
I agree
before their
with-
periods.
Matt, I agree with you to an extent, especially
right.
when you invoke the concept of the church. It's just simply, if you're bad, you're going to go see the devil.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
devil's going to come and get you, and you got a nice warm place for you down there where it's burning and hot.
sometimes
it's the
you
same
need
thing.
you need a little fear to keep everybody in line. You know, I guess, but
But they
Yeah,
had
but-
parents on there. The guy was saying, am I going to tell my kid if they're misbehaving? They're freaked out by this thing. So hey, I'm going to give Wrinkles a call. He's going to come eat you.
I'm fine with that. You know what? I'm converted. I'm fine with that.
All right, I'm glad.
Now,
Yeah.
despite
I'll start
Wrinkles
my
the
own
Clown
church.
being a creepy dude, he's a jerk off. But
Right.
what he's doing is, I'm guessing, effective. Keeps these kids in line. I say go for it.
so spoiler alert if you haven't seen the documentary yet. We're gonna talk about something here at the end, I guess. But
Creepy got shot.
no.
Or,
So
I'm sorry, Wrinkles.
during the documentary, they portray you think you're seeing Wrinkles the whole
Mhm.
time, and it's this older guy in his 60s and stuff. But you come to find out it was just an actor, and the actual Wrinkles the Clown is actually much younger.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think he's in his 40s.
Well, they didn't really
Late
say for
30s
sure,
maybe.
but they still nobody has his identity or anything. But he was like kind of like blacked out. You know how they do that, like witness protection stuff. And
Sure.
the voices changed,
Sure.
and he,
voice has been changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so he
maybe
was-
it's Banksy.
it might be
Could
yeah.
be Banksy.
Is that artist guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Might
thought
be
that
the
was.
same
I
one.
thought that was Michael Jackson's his
Monkey?
The monkey
Yeah.
Banksy.
Wasn't it Banksy?
No, it was his monkey's name was Bananas.
Ah,
No, it was not Bananas. It was
sweetness.
Coke Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Thank you, it was
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
No, but a Banksy, right? Like one of those, like couple mil for an original.
I mean, you're removing concrete to do it.
That reminds me. You remember blowing bubbles when you were a kid? Remember that? Remember that?
I'm sure Michael Jackson might.
Guys, the guy. Yeah, it's a joke. Everybody.
Oh.
One guy at work loves that joke. Actually, it's Shallow Throat. He loves telling that joke.
Hmm.
But yeah, Wrinkles the Clown.
You want a joke? I heard one the other day.
What's that?
It's real quick. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Because the P is silent.
Wow.
Nice. I like that.
That's
yeah,
good.
that's good for the kids. You got
Yeah,
young kids out there. That's a good one for them. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Wrinkles is one of the topics I had to discuss.
I like it.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, watch the documentary. I just think it's pretty neat that somebody's out there making a living off of how Zap's saying being a jerk off.
He's being a jerk off, but he's being a creepy dude with purpose.
But parents pay the guy to stand in like the yard and like look over the shrubbery, and like these kids start yelling and screaming, and he grabs the phone and he like cuts it off at that. So every time the dad's like, "Hey, you were bad. Remember this guy came to the house?" He said the kids are like angels.
We got to get Wrinkles, one of the posters or whatever to put up. Be cool for the basement.
Sure,
the new setup.
Why not?
Well, I'm
the collage.
I'm gonna try to borrow somebody's phone so I can actually call him. Maybe I'll tell him to listen.
Call from a payphone.
Yeah,
We still have those.
No, I don't know. Do we?
Call from an office phone.
Yeah,
I think they have payphones in.
that's it.
But you have to use your credit card, like in airports or whatever.
They might.
You don't want to swipe your credit card in one of those things.
No.
But yeah, what else? What else do we got?
So let's go to Zap. What do you got, Zap?
I got nothing, man. I got nothing of import. No.
You got to have something.
I was just reading the news this morning, and I saw
that's
that
good. That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Recently, Tesla recalled nearly all of their vehicles, almost all of them in the United States, to fix an autopilot monitoring system. So there's an autopilot thing. Autopilot? Yeah. So there's some kind of autopilot monitoring system. So Tesla had to call them all back. Now, Tesla is a thing. They are people. So I, for one, am going to tell you, and I don't care, man. I love. What's his name? Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
I love that guy, man. I think he's cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for Elon. Everything he's doing, good for him. He's making it. He's
making it. The guy owning it. I think he owns and makes everything, pretty much.
So, however, I could not care less about a particular product he is behind, the Tesla automobile. At this point, this stage of the game, the concept of an electronic vehicle and the zero carbon footprint and all of that horse shit is just laughable to me. It's absolutely laughable. Why, do you ask? Well, here is why.
Why?
Why you say?
Okay, why? Yes, why?
The battery. This obviously, it's a completely electronic vehicle. It has to have a battery.
Those are lead cell, right?
Yeah, they're D cells.
D cells.
Yeah, you need a lot of Ds.
Modern day boombox.
A lot of Ds. Yeah. So the Tesla battery, the Model Y battery, as chance would have it. So to manufacture one of these things, you need 12 tons of rock. You end up going through 12 tons of rock to find enough lithium for it. 5 tons of cobalt minerals, whereas cobalt itself is a byproduct of processing copper and nickel ores. You need 3 tons of nickel ore to, again, refine that down to nickel. 12 tons of copper ore. 441 pounds of aluminum, steel, and or plastic.
For one battery, you're talking?
One battery.
Wow.
And these numbers are coming right off the top of your head.
Right off the top of my head.
That's insane.
112 pounds of graphite. So in order to obtain some of this stuff, you need to move 250 plus tons of dirt to get your resultant for your battery. 26.5 pounds of lithium, 30 pounds of nickel, 48.5 pounds of manganese, and 15 pounds of cobalt.
Wow.
So I can promise you, it's not manual labor that's doing that. You're using huge, tremendous machines that are doing this thing. One machine in particular, the Caterpillar Series 994 Earth Mover, or its equivalent, consumes, on average, 22 gallons of diesel per hour.
That's the one that has like 6 wheels that are like the size of the old dirty basement.
Dude, these are the ones that are the size of like 2 houses put together.
Okay.
When they're actually functioning, like strong functioning, they're burning 60 gallons an hour. That's at their peak. Again, this is all in the name of electric vehicles. So what's great about this, the bulk of the necessary materials necessary to manufacture these batteries come from, give it a guess.
What? Gas. Petroleum.
No, the materials to create these batteries, where they come from.
China.
That's correct. They are manufactured either in China or the ore is going to come from Africa. Now, after all of that, plus all of the manufacturing necessary to put all of that shit together, one gets a 1,000-pound battery and a zero emissions car.
But all that stuff to make it.
Correct. So essentially what Tesla has done is front-loaded all of the carbon completely negative. I mean, burning that shit like it's going out of style just to make this thing to sell to people and say, Oh no, you're doing the planet a favor. It takes, now this is the best part, and this is why I got to hand it to Elon Musk. Man, he's got these people just suckered into buying this shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't that Elon Musk just showing the world how much of a dick he is?
No,
he's like, look at this, man. You guys are out here thinking I'm doing all this for the planet.
No,
and
not even
he's
that.
just sitting back laughing.
No, not at all. He's not at all saying that I'm doing this, that, and the other thing for the planet. He's convinced people to convince themselves that buying this car.
That's what I mean. Like he gets off on knowing that it's laughable to him. That I think that this guy is just like, look what these people are buying, making me. What is he, like the third, fourth, fifth, whatever, how many richest man in the world?
I'll make this a little clearer.
Is a majority of his fortune off Tesla, or is it off of other things?
He made his big nut off of PayPal.
Oh, okay.
He came up with PayPal, sold that, took that, moved into Tesla, moved into SpaceX.
SpaceX is a big one.
But now, Elon Musk aside, so I just use Tesla as the example because the data is out there. There are any of the auto manufacturers, they make electric cars. Like, that's a thing.
Right.
Everybody's making battery-powered electric cars. I mean, you got the
Chevy
Toyotas,
Toyota, yes, everybody.
Yeah.
So, to be clear, it is not just Elon Musk. I am just picking out Tesla because they've got a big battery and the data is out there readily available. So, after all of that, after all the machines and all of the bullshit and everything you did, it takes 7 years for that battery to be
offset everything.
To offset everything.
Wow.
That is to say, it takes 7 years for somebody to not have to buy gasoline. That's just to not buy gasoline. That has nothing to do with the electricity you needed to get it in there. And what makes electricity? I'm telling you, it's more than water. I'm sorry, it's more than air power, and it's more than whatever else. Solar.
Windmills.
I mean, you're burning coal. You're burning something. You're making something hot to turn turbines to make electricity. So, yeah, it's all just, it's so laughable to me. Absolutely laughable. But go on. Please, enjoy your electric vehicles. You're surely doing the earth a favor. Good for you. Whatever feels good, man.
So what's your take on solar power then? You're cool with solar.
I mean, it works. It certainly works. It's not strong enough, or it does not generate nearly enough power necessary to do what it should be doing, or what we would expect it to do.
Yeah, because you go around, like you take a train anywhere or whatever, you see these fields just full of like solar panels.
Again, suckers.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, well, what exactly is that running? And then you go through and you look up and you see like power plants. You're like, Well,
they try to get them like in our neighborhood. They want you to put them on your house and do all that. Oh, you can do this.
Suckers.
You know, it's like,
you get kickbacks.
So there is a thing, and I know a few people who have done it. Like, you can coat your smart play. Do it if you're building. If you're not building, it might not be as smart. Like, you're not going to get the cost benefit out of it. But what you do is you basically get these, I don't want to call them carbon credits, but they're credits you offset against. Like, you're generating power by virtue of solar. Yes, that is a thing.
Sell it back.
It sounds like something out of Star Wars. Like, you have 8 carbon credits.
That's right. Like, you can use that to offset your electricity, because you're either sending it or receiving it, or you're reducing the amount of drag on the grid or whatever the hell. I'm no scientist, but so that is a thing for sure. It is absolutely a thing. But look, man, sun goes down. Sometimes it gets cold. Whatever. And when AI takes over the world and we, darken the sky so they can no longer run on solar power, and they're starting to use people as batteries. That was a Matrix reference. Forget your solar power. It's over.
See, why we don't really need to be concerned with any of this, actually.
Nope.
It's like
we won't be around. Is that
we're a blip in the radar, man. Think about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like what Zap was saying, I mean, makes 100% sense, but it's just, when you're living in a place like how crazy the world is today, and people like you said, oh, I'm getting an electric car because, I don't believe in, the emissions, and I don't believe in putting all that harmful stuff into the atmosphere. And like Zap's saying, people buy into that. They're like, that sounds like the greatest thing in the world. Yet all we're doing is just destroying our planet even more.
Agreed. Look, well said, Matt. But I also agree with what you had said, that we are just a blip.
We are. We're a blip. We don't even count. And especially now, us in our close to 50.
Let's think of what puts CO2 or whatever the scientists say is a bad thing to go into the air to hurt the ozone or whatever. Compare the bodies of people to, I don't know, a volcano, all sorts of natural disasters that put all of this shit into the air that we have zero, and I mean zero control. We are ants. We are gnats. We are nothing. We are absolutely a drop in nothing bucket.
Polar shift.
Yeah, on this little ball that's floating in a universe that's been around for billions.
That's with a B. Car doors go like this.
Billions of years. We are. One day we're gonna wake up. We're gonna be dinosaurs, people. And who else? I don't know what's gonna take over at this time, but
we'll get good miles per gallon though.
Yes, we'll have the cars will be insane.
It's you gotta have faith though sometimes.
That was informative, Zap. That was really
good. Was good.
I like that.
That
was like in the head. That was all in the head.
All of this
is crazy.
Off the dome.
Right off the dome. Right. All of this thanks to Tesla recalling nearly all of their vehicles in the U.S. to fix an autopilot problem.
Wow.
Thanks, Tesla.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have a computer for those numbers?
Did a computer calculate them for me?
No, like I looked over there. I was like, I thought all this shit was.
No. He has.
You're like, just now seeing my laptop open?
Yes. I was like, how do you know it's like 140? I said, there's no way you know that.
What the hell is a gigawatt?
That's insane. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yep.
I just thought those were like just. And I was like, wow, like 89% of facts are made up on the spot.
No,
not at all.
It was on there. All right, that's great though.
I did take the time to type this all out.
I really don't like Elon Musk though.
I love Elon Musk.
I
really,
love
you guys.
I mean, Starlink and all that stuff.
If I wasn't so heterosexual, man, I'd be all over Elon Musk.
Elon.
Yeah, I like him. I mean,
Starlink is cool as shit. By the way, it is absolutely cool as shit.
To think that we'll be able to, internet everywhere. I mean, I think about that all the time. It's 2023. Like when we go up to her family's cabin, I don't have internet. Like, how is that possible? How is there anywhere
you have a
in
computer
the world
on
where you don't have that data?
A mega computer on your wrist, but yeah, no, you can bring it up there. You can do like wireless from somewhere or whatever. You can run it off your.
What I'm saying is like cellular, which we rely on for most of the time. You know
how they show those maps? You're saying there's actual places here in Pennsylvania that it's blacked out.
That's what I'm saying.
There are places where the signal does not reach. Absolutely,
and that's Forksville, that area. Now AT&T has towers there, but for instance, T-Mobile doesn't. That's who I have.
Oh, okay.
So T-Mobile is partnering with Starlink, supposedly, and they're going to have that you'll be able to use the Starlink satellites to get internet.
Yep.
Basically, when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Think about if you're out hiking and you have an emergency or something like that, and you can't send, for help. Or I know Apple came out with a satellite SOS or whatever, I guess, on one of their updates. But I mean, you could be out somewhere with no service, and it's 2023. Like we should be all connected all the time.
We are through our COVID shot. We're all connected.
Yeah, we are.
Fun fact: in a recent hike and/or camping trip with buddies of mine.
Hockendock weekend.
Hockendock weekend, yeah.
Hockendock weekend. While we were out, we were out in a place where there is zero light pollution, no nothing. So it was beautiful skies, everything just crystal clear, crisp and clean with no caffeine. 2 nights in a row, you could just look up and you could see that Starlink floating by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's something to see, man. When you just see this row of 20 or 30. Just these little white dots just in a row. It's like Santa on his sleigh.
Yeah. Shit, we saw that at our friend's house during the karaoke night. Remember?
That's right. Yeah.
The Starlink. You guys remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Where everybody was freaking out, like, "What the hell is that?" And people were like, "Damn,
it's aliens."
Everybody, yeah. But that would have been a cool way to go.
Yeah.
If they had to come on down.
I concur.
Yep.
So, Dave, what's new with you?
So I picked something too, like Matt did, that I watched. I thought this was interesting on Netflix. Now, we have referenced in other shows that we went to Catholic school. We've all come up Catholic and all that. So to me, this was interesting. I mean, I think it's worth a watch, whether you're an atheist, a Catholic, Muslim, whatever you are. I think it's just interesting. Mysteries of the Faith, it's called.
Let Us Receive.
Yeah, it came out November 1st on Netflix. They cover a couple different relics from the Catholic Church. And the two that I want to focus on today, the first one was the Crown of Thorns, which I thought was interesting. Now, these are all, I mean, they can't be proven 100%. The church, the Vatican likes to recognize these two in particular as being authentic, but there's still doubters, and I mean, there's doubters on everything. So I'm sure, there's going to be people that say, well, you can't prove that's real, but there's people that say these have healing powers, and, that when you're in the presence of them, there's a feeling that comes over you of like you're seeing something that's, connected to God or was, connected in some way that you feel like there's like a power there.
But isn't that like in the Catholic Church, from growing up visiting different churches? I remember my mom liked to go visit different churches, but most of the churches you see out there usually have some sort of relics, and they'll have like a ankle bone fragment of, you know, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton,
Well, yeah, there's
or
stuff.
they have, you know, Saint Francis of Assisi's thigh bone, and on like certain occasions or feast day, they'll like walk it around the church and throw some holy water at you.
So if I'm not mistaken, a location that has something like that is called a basilica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the crown of thorns, for instance, you know, obviously formed by Roman soldiers and forced onto the head of Jesus over 2,000 years ago, and to mock him. So they're basically, you know, when he was getting crucified. It was kept at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris up until 2019.
That's when the Bernie burned.
When the place burned down.
The fire happened, yeah. They kept it in a secret vault, and it was encased in glass and gold when it's in public. So they would put it out in public so people would come from all over to see this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's guarded by 12 knights and a security team. So there's these 12.
They have like armor and stuff?
No, not this kind of
shields.
knights, but
they have jousting tournaments?
There's a lot of security around it. You know what I
they've
mean?
since upped the ante on the armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Kevlar now.
Nice.
So they had some history with this actual piece. So when you see this crown of thorns, it's encased in glass and covered like in gold, but you can see the actual crown like inside the glass. And I mean, they have records on this thing all the way back to 870 AD that are like kind of actual records where they're able to trace it from there. It was there was a reference of it in Jerusalem in 870 AD, and then the next time it was referenced wasn't until the 10th century in Constantinople, which is modern day
Istanbul.
Yeah, Istanbul. Yep.
Yep.
And from there, you know, they traced it. It moved around from person to person, but they had at one time in Constantinople, I guess the you know, they weren't doing too well. They were selling off everything, trying to like just their, you know, money was
Fire sale, man.
fire sale, basically.
Got to pay the rent.
So they had sold this crown of thorns. Somebody like kind of behind the scenes sold it, and they found out about it. We're like, you know, you can't sell that. What are you doing, basically?
You can
like,
sell anything.
right. So they got a hold of
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
He would buy it,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They got a hold of the King of France at the time, and we're like, hey, can you buy this thing back? Basically, it's a very important religious relic. We can't have it just like
Disappear.
some guy owning it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Elon Musk owning it. So they actually bought it back. The King of France was able to track it down. He sent people out to track it down. They tracked it down, bought it back for like the number was insane. They said it almost broke the country of France, basically, how much money they had to pay to buy this thing back. But then they had control of it then and have been keeping it there in France ever since. It was like in another church there for a while until Notre Dame it was 100 years, they said, to build Notre Dame Cathedral. It took 100 years to build that thing. And it's been there, you know, in modern history. That's where it's been kept under lock and key. They had that fire. So on this documentary, they kind of focus on the firefighters going in there to find this thing. But the location of it in Notre Dame Cathedral was real secret, because only like a few people knew where they actually kept it.
Sure.
So these firefighters went in and they were like, look, of anything you need to save here, it's the crown of thorns. It's the most important relic.
Yeah. That's the expensive one.
That's the one we need to find.
That's the one that could bankrupt the country.
But I'm pretty sure, though, if you went running through the cathedral, you can just grab, you know, there's a lot of stuff in there.
There is, but
you could be like grabbing some different things on your way to trying to find the thorns, you know?
So they sent these firefighters in, and they were looking around, and then they found it. They're like, oh, here it is. We got it. You know what I mean? They found like a safe. They brought it out. They're like, no, that's the fake one. So they have one that's kind of like a decoy.
That's awesome.
So they finally got a hold of the guy that was like, had the map and was like, this is where it's at. And they were able to obviously go in and get the original one, the OG one, and save it. But that cathedral was, I'm sure you saw the footage.
Oh, yeah.
Of the fire and the damage.
Yeah, that was one of like people just standing there watching it, crying.
It was an old roof. It was dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was for sure dry.
So, I thought that was real interesting. The other thing they covered is the Holy Grail, which a lot of you know from Indiana Jones. It was the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper. There was actually a lot of interesting stuff on, which they didn't cover in this, but that the Nazis, that was for real during World War II.
Yes, they wanted everything.
yeah.
The Nazis took everything of any kind of money.
Well, but they were more interested in the powers of it,
Yeah.
like the supernatural kind of powers that this thing possessed. Like if you have this, you can eternal life and this and that. So, Hitler had sent these guys, hey, go get all these artifacts, and that was all legit.
I know if you look at the Ten Commandments, you'll melt.
Yeah, from the movie.
That's true.
That
Right.
is factual.
That is factual.
So the Holy Grail, the one that the Vatican recognizes as the actual Holy Grail, is in the Cathedral of Valencia. It's in Spain.
Mhm.
And there was a scientist there that actually, I guess, did a test on what materials were used, and there's one of the materials that's in the Grail that's there that dates back to that time and is of a material that would have been from Jerusalem.
Mhm.
So there's those type things that they try to use as like, oh, this is legit. This could
Sure.
actually be the thing. But there's other ones that go, no, the actual real Holy Grail is in another part of Spain. So there was actually 2 or 3 Holy Grails that they say are possibilities, but this is the only one that the Vatican recognizes as the actual.
Well, look, if there were 13 people at the Last Supper, maybe they all had solo cups. So there might have been like 13 cups passed around.
Maybe they passed them around. Yeah, maybe.
Did they ever find the holy keg?
Right.
Was it?
Precisely.
Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting. Now there's other ones on the Shroud of Turin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And which I didn't get to that one yet.
Jesus'
I've heard that
face.
story. Yeah, that the image got like burned into
In the
it and stuff.
face.
Yeah.
Punch to the
so-
face. Pile drive to the face.
Have either of you ever had being in Catholic school, going to church and stuff like that, has there ever been anything that, a feeling or anything that came over you, like when you were in the presence of something, or everything that made you like, and I'm assuming you guys believe in one way or
Of course,
another,
of
you know
course,
what I mean?
Yes.
That made you feel like, oh, I feel something here, like this seems real to me, you know what I mean? Like,
I believe that has more to do with the more you believe in something, the more you'll make it happen.
right.
Like, if you are so devout and so, I mean, just so into something, you will it to happen. Like you can worry yourself into having cancer.
Right.
So the brain is a really weird thing, man.
It's powerful like that, yeah.
I remember, I don't know who it was, Keeler, or I was doing a mass, and the bishop was in the mass because there was only like, I don't know, 10 kids in my class going up through my grade school, Catholic grade school, and I remember like the staff and what else was there?
His hat.
Yes, the hat. But I remember I was the staff kid, so you had to wear these white garments in order to hold the staff or the
Right.
bishop. But I remember like, just like moving my moving my hand a little bit, so I like had my thumb on it. I was like, and like trying to like
Touch something.
just
I'm
to see
touching the gold, man. I'm touching
yeah,
the
like
gold.
to see if it was like something more powerful or something. But I think when you're younger,
like it's a wizard staff.
yeah,
or
like I
some
thought I was
shit.
gonna start doing some magic or something, man.
You're going to feel like
Christ.
electricity off it.
Yeah, like I don't know, but when you're younger, and I think you both can relate, is it is. It's something that, like, talking about Wrinkles, like the whole God thing. Like I want to be like close. You just feel like the guy controls everything.
For sure, for sure.
Right.
And I mean, as you get older, I think you develop your own forms of faith, even though like you're strong within what you grew up with. But yeah, that was something to me that I think like, and the relics too, because just the basilicas, correct, Zap?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to see these relics, I think it's like something.
Something, yeah.
It's something big. And
I
get
can't
it.
say it's so for me, I can't say that it's anything specific to an item, but I can say that I would go on weekend camping trips just as much as I would go on random weekend. I don't want to say encounters. I think they called it wasn't search. It was something where it was almost like peer counseling, but for the church.
Right.
So if you were
Like a retreat?
yeah, thank you, Matt. That's the word. Like,
Okay.
It was like a retreat, but it wasn't necessarily, because I've been on retreats too. This is something where you go to like
Like a KFC type thing? Or?
not KFC.
Yes, the KFC.
Not the K of C?
Yes, the KFC.
Okay, the
Like-
KFC.
Yes, the KFC.
Knights of Columbus.
Yes.
Kind of like that. So if you're a kid, you're going to this thing, and there are older kids, like whatever, and they're telling you like experiences they've had, and there's some adults there too that are telling you about experiences they had, and it's all with the whole idea of getting you stronger and closer to the church, and shit like that. And you will walk out of there. You absolutely will walk out of there like so believing, like you're ready to be like a priest or a nun, like that.
Or just like heal
that
people.
Day.
Yeah.
Like you are just so full of the Holy Spirit that you are just ready to hit the ground running. Like you love the faith. You love everything. It is, some might call it brainwashing. I think of it as more of an invigoration to, again, remind you of the faith and to get you truly, truly, grounded in it. So yeah, that is a feeling or sensation that I think would be akin to someone getting so close to a relic and someone believing like, oh my God, I'm so close to the Holy Grail. Right. When reality on that Holy Grail, by the way, it's actually at the bottom of Oak Island. It's in the, are you familiar with Oak Island?
No.
So there's a show.
Was that in Jersey?
The Curse of Oak Island. It's on the History Channel.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, dude, they've been digging on this island for like 10 years looking for whatever the hell's down there. I bet the Holy Grail's down there.
That's where it's at.
I swear to God.
I know it's not made of gold.
No.
It's factual.
But I just thought that was an interesting documentary. And you didn't like the documentary?
No, he chose it from Indiana Jones.
Oh, from
Poorly.
Indiana. I got you.
Because remember, and he's like, he was a carpenter. That is not a carpenter's cup. No.
And it's something that came along. There's some stuff I went through this week or the past couple of weeks. I mean, there's stuff the past few months that I've gone through in my personal life, and like sometimes you think things like this pop up in your just to like remind you like. Well, don't forget you have your faith. You have, you know what I mean? This and that. Like, it was just kind of like one of these things where it kind of reminded me, like, watching that. Oh, this popped up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Like, like sometimes as you get older, you forget.
But,
you know what I mean? Like,
it was kind of cool. It was just in New York a while back, and I took my kids to St. Patrick's Cathedral, and it's like one of those things, but they walked in there and they thought, them being Catholic school kids, and looking around and seeing like this huge church.
It is tremendously huge.
Yes, but just like the architecture on the outside, the architecture inside, they really, and to like, give a couple dollars to see them light a candle was something that was spiritual.
Right.
Sure.
And it was cool.
Whether you chalk it up to you believe, you don't believe, I think anybody, you've all had experiences. And what you want to tie it to or say this is because if it's karma, just the way the world works, or if it's like a higher power or religion, I mean, I think we can all kind of relate no matter what you believe in.
Sure.
Everybody. But, yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
I like that. Real quick, though, do you think...
It's like never really quick.
Yeah, you're right. Damn.
It doesn't have to be on this one, though.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's freestyle. It's Freestyle Friday. Yeah. That's so cool. Mm-hmm. But on a side note to the Mysteries of Faith thing, like, you don't think the Pope has, like, his own little room where he, like, keeps, like, the real shit?
Maybe.
He's like, Sister Geraldine, bring me the crown. And they like, you know what I mean? Or like, he got a whole room. He's like rolling around, having fun, like Scrooge McDuck.
Drinking malt liquor out of the Holy Grail.
Yeah, like just partying. You know what I mean?
He might.
Maybe.
Like putting on the crown, like, what about horses? Crying over you.
Is that Goodbye Horses?
Goodbye Horses,
Yeah, like I could see, like, I don't know, the Pope would be kind of like how the President of the United States, they get to find out all this. Oh wow, check out the alien.
That's
hanging
right.
out at Camp David.
Yeah. So I think the Pope has like a secret room where he has all the cool shit.
Oh, fun fact. Speaking of Camp David, if you ever drive down 15 from here to DC, you will pass Camp David.
What do you mean? You know where it's at?
Everybody knows where. Everybody, to be clear, everyone can find out where Camp David is. So from
I thought
here,
it was like top secret. Or whatever.
No, man, not with satellites.
Yeah,
and the internet.
look on the internet.
Nothing's a secret anymore. Yeah. So if you go to Washington D.C. from Harrisburg, just take 15 south.
Right.
Before you get to 270, which will then join to 70, take you to 495 or whatever, take you into the city. As you're on 15, you have certainly crossed into Maryland. It's not far past the, what is it? There's a zoo-ish place down there. Mm-hmm. There's also a Roy Rogers exit. I forget which one that is. I can't remember.
See, that's crazy. I always thought that was like super top
No,
secret.
dude, I swear to God and Sonny Jesus, it's right down 15.
I mean,
to God.
You're not pulling up to where the president's retreat is.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not rolling in there.
There's not a sign outside
no billboards and stuff.
Bringing a picnic basket and shit. No.
You're 5 miles from Camp David.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but seriously, just go down 15, and if you were, essentially as you're traveling, if you were to turn right, mm-hmm. and drive in X number of miles, you'll be at Camp David.
There's probably dudes there. Like,
probably.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot of guns and, yeah.
Lawyers, guns, and money.
That's it.
Send them.
Well, I guess we maybe move on to the next thing. You got anything else, man?
No, just something I was going to talk about, the Squid Games. I don't know if anybody. It used to be a big thing.
I watched this series, but that's not what you're talking about, right?
Well, yeah, there was the actual series where like the people were really dying, like the show.
Or I watched the show on Netflix that was like subtitled, but it was
Yes, the one where
that's not real.
Yes, that is not real. This was
Okay.
they actually played off of this and made a real series out
There's
of.
a real series.
Yes, it has like the exact same games, but
real people.
real people, and they would do the same thing as in the movie or the show. So these people, like in the beginning with that doll, like would sing or whatever, and they'd
Right.
stop, and if the people would move, they have these caps that would blow them. Boom.
but not real bullets.
Not real bullets,
Yeah.
but it was actually all these people were, trying to win this prize. So the prize ended up being $4.56 million,
Damn.
and they were done filming this like 10 months ago. So this lady that won, Mia Wellman or whatever her name is, Wellham, she's still yet to receive any of this money
Oh, for real?
for like surviving all these things. And I think there was like 300 some people.
Damn.
So wait a second. So I am only familiar with the name Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen an episode, not one. I don't know what it's about at all. What the hell is Squid Game about?
It was like on Netflix. It was a show that it was like over in Korea, right? Or Japan.
Korea or Japan.
And
It was Asian.
Asian, and they go on this game show where you think you're on a game show to win this money that, basically if you lose, like you're just out, but actually when you lose, you're dead.
Yeah, the idea was going
So-
around, they left these cards, and these people had an opportunity to call this number because they were
Yeah.
usually poor people that didn't have much.
Oh, like bum fights.
Kind of. Yeah.
They'd have games like red light, green light. So
Okay.
the thing would go red light and then green light, and they'd run. And when they'd say red light, if you kept moving, this thing would shoot you. But it
Dang.
was like really shooting you.
Yeah, these people they would kill you. So you would be eliminated from this game by death.
By death. Yeah.
So they thought it'd be a good idea to try it with regular people trying to win this money as how it would be the real Squid Game. You're just not really dying, but people would be eliminated.
So which came first? People really dying or people fake dying?
people fake dying.
People
Okay.
fake dying.
Okay.
They based it on that fake show, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they try to turn it into a game show, like the one that with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Total
And-
Recall.
Yeah, it's like a Total Recall
No,
type
no,
thing.
no, 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 Running Man.
Oh, Running Man.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Running Man. Yeah.
And that was with
Richard Dawson was on.
Correct.
Yeah.
God
That was a
rest
good
his
one.
soul.
Which, if anybody wants to look back at any real episodes of Family Feud, check out Richard Dawson,
With that
like
big
making out with 17-year-olds.
Dude, he was so pervy.
With that
He-
long mic.
Yeah, like Bob Barker.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, Richard
same thing.
Dawson, your mic is so long.
Yeah, he would really get it on with him.
Yeah, he'd be like-
kissing and stuff.
He'd be like, "Name me one." Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
How do we call it? Inappropriate.
Yes,
Yeah.
a little bit.
A little bit.
What is your favorite color?
Ooh, you smell.
Like
Like
this-
so good.
Yeah.
Some dude's looking at her like, "Oh, come on, that's my wife."
I know, man.
Or that's my daughter.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Pig in the Poke from
Yeah.
Chevy Chase.
Those
or
guys
whatever.
had all the power back in the day. Game show host.
In America, first you get the game show, then you get the power,
Yeah.
then you get the women.
And
That's it.
I have all three.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you know it.
yeah, Squid Game, it was based off of this show that was not a real show. They turned it into a real show.
Mhm.
But these people were like really trying to the pot came up to 4.56 million. But I think they're saying that they didn't have enough. There's no money generated. So this whole thing, they went through this whole
For nothing.
like 10 months of whatever of filming or eight months of filming
Right.
and living off of like they gave people rations. It was exactly the way they're living on these bunks that are like 5, 10, 20 feet up in the air, these bunks that they had to live in, doing this whole show like it was the real show, and they got nothing for
No
it.
money out of it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Man, suckers.
Suckers.
But yeah, I just thought that was like a fun thing, and that's another thing to check out too. I mean, we keep talking about stuff you can watch.
Yeah, Squid Game.
I gotta
So-
watch Squid Game.
Squid Game, it's really cool. It actually is really
It's
cool.
worth a
I'm
watch.
so. There is so much content out there to watch. There is so much. Like,
It's overwhelming.
Well, especially with what we do. I mean, we're always trying to watch shit.
I know, dude, how do these people have time to watch all this? Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. He's like, "Oh, I need something to watch, man." And he will rattle off all of the stuff that he and his wife have watched over the course of like a week or a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking, God damn, how do you have that much time?
Unemployment, disability.
yeah.
Dang.
Seriously.
There's a lot of that out there.
Oh, we were talking about the homeless earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is it just me, or is that a relatively recent term, like almost a PC term? And I say that because when I was a kid, we just used to call them bums.
Oh, you talking about homeless?
Yeah, the homeless. People who are
homeless.
homeless. Like, I guess it's a PC or a kinder, gentler way
Of saying bum?
of saying bum.
I guess. I didn't know bum was bad.
Well, yeah, does a bum necessarily mean you're homeless?
Right. Well, I don't know. I just know as a kid, I never used the term homeless. Like, I remember when the term homeless became in vogue, if that's the appropriate thing. Like, it was our teenage years or our early 20s. Like, the term homeless, at least its common usage, I don't think has been around that long. Maybe I'm fucked. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really think of any of them as.
Yeah, what else? Like a bum. What was a secluse or recluse?
Recluse,
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the brown recluse.
Yes,
Brown.
they're bad.
They're dangerous.
But what else? What else do they call bums or homeless people?
Hobos.
Hobos. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But you always picture them. They have like a big clown foot with like or big clown
Bag.
shoe with like their feet hanging out.
Yeah,
a stick with a
the
bindle.
stick with
The shoes talking to you.
and
Yeah.
they got around to see cool places on a train.
Right.
That's how I think of like a really cool hobo.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, look, back in the day, I'm telling you, they didn't call them the homeless or that guy is homeless. That guy's a bum or that guy's a hobo.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. Now you're saying that.
You can't.
I don't really hear that too much. I
Yeah.
mean, I have been hearing that. I don't really hear bum as much. They don't like on the news like there's bums in Harrisburg.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like the homeless problem in Harrisburg.
That would be cool. I think that's on Fox News.
Would they say bums?
Yeah, they're like the bums. You got to get rid of these bums in Harrisburg.
Maybe. I don't
Rocky
think-
also calls them bums. Oh, speaking of Rocky,
Rocky who?
Rocky Balboa.
Oh, Rocky Balboa. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Stallone.
go ahead. Yeah.
So now in Philly, there's something with the statue on top of the library.
Yeah.
They moved that.
They moved it someplace. Now you get your picture taken, or you do something somewhere. You can do something with it.
Mhm.
I have my picture taken with the family. It's down on the corner of the museum. It's not up on top.
All right.
But it's been there for a while. They moved it for a while. He also has one in his house.
You see that little kid go up, hey, Rocky, and he's like reciting the whole speech. That was pretty cool.
I'm
You
still
can't-
upset that Philly got rid of the Frank Rizzo statue. That's a damn shame. That's
R-I-Z-Z-O.
All right, Frank Rizzo, best mayor Philadelphia has
Yeah,
ever seen.
This is Frank Rizzo.
That city could use a mayor like Frank Rizzo again.
Yeah.
His statue was outside of City Hall forever, forever. They took it down, I guess, a few years ago.
Oh, shit.
You know,
Is that when you know when you made it?
when you get your own
In
statue,
America? It's when your statue somewhere?
Yes.
of you?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
you've made it.
Yes.
So, Zab, what do you got?
I got nothing. I got some fun facts on the day, like this day in history.
Yeah, let's hear
Oh,
it.
I heard that today. I actually thought that would be cool.
So today, now, fun fact, today is December 13th, 2003. By the time,
2003?
I'm sorry, 2023.
I was like,
We're
wow.
way ahead of the time.
in time.
So, sorry, my DeLorean was off there.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
Snapping on that.
today is 12/13/23. So by the time you hear this, I'm sure we're long after that. However, on this day in 1577, Sir Francis Drake set sail for what would become a 3-year journey, resulting in him becoming the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe.
3-year tour.
That's right. Surely you both remember the term or the name Sir Francis Drake when we were coming to grade school. Somewhere.
Yeah, he's from
Maybe.
Canada, I think.
Close. England.
Oh, okay.
In 1636, the National Guard was founded. How is that possible? Well, it came as a result of the Massachusetts Bay Colony organizing 3 militias to defend against the Pequot Indians.
Yeah, I think that's why they had the Army-Navy game in Massachusetts.
That makes
this year.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah, could have
Yes.
been, yeah.
It was on this day in 1989 that Driving Miss Daisy was released.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime I think of Driving Miss Daisy, I think of that one skit that was on In Living Color, where the guy who's playing Poe, the driver, the Morgan Freeman part,
Morgan Freeman.
he ends up climbing into the back with Miss Daisy, and they start getting it on, and the skit ends with, Poe, you're my best friend, after he's,
Wow, thank you, Miss Daisy.
washing his winky in Miss Daisy's sinky,
Oh,
kitchen sinky. Yeah, all right.
PG.
It was on this day, December 13th, year 2000, where
Of our Lord.
Al Gore conceded the presidential election to George W. Bush.
oh, how about that?
That was a close election.
It was a close one.
That was a
that's right.
close one. That was a
Yeah.
close one.
Interestingly enough, it was exactly 3 years later in 2003 that as a result of Operation Red Dawn, Saddam Hussein was captured by American forces after being found hiding in a hole in the ground near a farmhouse outside of Tikrit.
How about that?
Patrick Swayze do that?
No, but
Yeah.
it was in fact named after the movie.
Is that what it's called? Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
You remember those pictures when they came out?
Oh my
When
God.
they had Saddam, like he was everywhere. He was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
His beard was
Mm-hmm.
awful. Like he just was ravaged by broke assness and homelessness.
Homelessness. Yes.
That
I
is
think
being a
I think they
hobo.
whooped his ass a little bit too, though.
Yeah.
That wasn't on camera.
Yeah, they took the pictures after they whipped his ass.
Yeah, that was an ass whooping.
We gotta church this up here, man. You look a little too clean.
Mhm.
Got to get some blood on you.
That's it.
So, maybe a handful of famous birthdays.
Ah.
December 13th.
December 13th, 1925. 25. Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, wow.
He's still living, right?
Still alive.
Oh, good for
98 years old. Still alive and kicking. And I mean kicking it hard. Like this dude, there's videos that come out, whatever, YouTube, you name it. He goes to the gym every day. He runs, he exercises, he walks around, hands out money, gives money away to people. Just like, hey man, I see you. You bum. Here's a couple of bucks. Good luck.
bum.
Well, he's a chimney sweep. He needs to be in shape.
Dude,
Yeah.
that guy is still in tip-top shape. However,
him.
alas, who is no longer with us, born on this day in 1929, the great Christopher Plummer,
Oh, okay.
as made famous by The Sound of Music,
Yeah.
Captain Von Trapp. Also featured in 12 Monkeys.
Uh-huh.
With Brad Pitt?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He was
Chris Plummer.
he played Brad Pitt's father.
Okay.
Mm.
I just remember him from Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Still alive and with us, born in 1948, Ted Nugent.
Oh.
Not Cat Scratch Fever.
He's got some kind of fever.
Mm.
Yeah, he's been doing. He makes like those hunting shows and stuff. He
Yeah.
hangs out with his wife and shoots things.
That
Yeah.
man loves America.
He does.
Man loves freedom.
Yeah.
He loves freedom, and God bless him. I agree with him on many things. In 1957, born this day, Steve Buscemi.
He's a good
Buscemi,
guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire was, a masterpiece series.
like that.
Absolutely a masterpiece series. Although I thought he did a great job as Crazy Eyes in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, he was good in that.
I liked him in Fargo,
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
He was
Bam.
good, yeah.
Why do I got to be Mr. Pink?
Yeah. Because everybody wants to be Mr. Black or Mr. White. So
He's like, y'all, who I tell you, if you're Mr. Pink, you're Mr. Pink.
Yeah.
He kept going though. Why do I got to be Mr. Pink? Why am I got to be Mr. Pink?
So
Uh-huh.
Buscemi is how old then?
Well, if he was born in 57 and we're now in 2023,
Quick math.
66?
so he would be 43 plus 23. That's 66.
Nice.
I thought he'd be younger than that. I guess not. Everybody's getting old.
Yeah, I would have guessed in his 50s, but
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm bad,
50
I'm
something,
bad with
58.
ages and stuff.
Mm.
Fun fact too, Pink, Mr. Pink.
Yep.
That's how the singer got her name, Pink.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I remember her saying like her and her friends would watch that movie all the time, and her friends would call her Mr. Pink.
She's
Pink, and she just shortened it to Pink or whatever for the.
she went to the same high school that my wife went to.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Same-
That's out in Bucksco, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or Montco, either Bucksco or Montco.
Yeah, Bucksco.
There you go.
she's older though, right?
Yeah.
She's closer to
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I got one more.
Oh,
Now to age all of us. Born on this day in 1989.
Taylor Swift.
Correct.
No way.
Taylor
Boo.
Swift is the answer. She is far more successful than all three of us.
Yeah.
Probably more successful than
She-
anyone listening to this podcast. I'm sorry to inform you, she has more money than all of us combined.
she
a
has
few
reached
times
the
over.
billions.
Yeah,
She's
for
in the
sure.
billions
When
now.
you said 1989, I figured my daughter, all these teenagers, they're all obsessed with her.
Yep.
And she has
Not
an
even
album.
teenagers, young kids now. Kids like
Everybody.
7, 8, 9 years old.
And my wife loves it.
They love her.
So when you said 1989, she has an album called 1989. So
Yeah.
that's how I figured.
I'm not
Just took a
familiar with
wild
her
guess.
body of work. I'm sure I've heard a song or two.
I know like a song just because my daughter playing them, but I don't really listen to it or anything.
She has
like
that Karma one out now. It's like huge.
Is she the one that came up with that Call Me Maybe?
No,
No, that's not her.
that's
No.
Camilla Cabello.
She has like
Karma Chameleon.
Yes.
look what you made me do,
I don't know.
and what was like her big hit though? Taylor Swift.
Wildest Dreams. That Wildest Dreams.
That's Belinda Carlisle. I thought it was.
No.
I don't know. But anyway, it's
I thought that
a little
was,
out of our wheelhouse.
But yeah, Taylor Swift is pretty much she's on everything now.
No, who's wild?
What's the name of that old band?
Yeah.
Once upon a time
In my wildest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's.
not Belinda
Oh
Carlisle.
God, I know the name of that band. Like I should be kicking myself.
Oh my
in the
gosh,
ass.
yes.
And speaking of
Once
that,
upon a time.
The Moody Blues. Thank
Moody
you,
Blues.
Moody Blues.
when you sent the
Once
Tesla,
when you were
the Tesla
mine.
thing, it got me thinking about the band Tesla.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cover that.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I said yes, and I sent you the band yes.
Yeah, yes.
But I was recently in Boston.
Oh,
From
Yeah.
Boston.
But then I don't know, took a trip around the world a little bit, but no, went through the US, went through Kansas.
nice. And then you had a Genesis. And
Yeah, had a Genesis.
Mm.
Talking about different things.
Mm.
So I got some PA fun facts.
Oh.
So this is from a website, uncoveringpa.com. So these are, the name of the article was 53 PA fun facts you probably didn't know.
And we have all 53 for
I don't
you.
have 53, but I picked out
Thank you.
like
Bless you.
maybe 10 here that I thought.
That's fun, though. That's fun. I like that.
So the smiley face emoticon was invented by Scott Fallman September 19th, 1982 at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, PA.
Hmm.
So
Smart
that
kids in
smiley
it.
face,
Smart
yeah.
kids that go to that school.
Now, I'm just thinking the emoticon, like 82. Like, what would you?
I'm thinking what we now know as the emoji or emoticon back then. Is that the smiley face?
I think that would be the two, the semicolon with the,
Maybe that's what it
that's
is.
what it was.
Oh, I was thinking just the smiley face that goes on like a shit happens t-shirt or something like that.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
Oh, you mean the one from Forrest Gump?
Yeah. Unless it truly is the one, unless I don't know what the hell an emoticon is. Maybe an emoticon is, in fact, as Matt had mentioned,
Like in text.
using characters on a keyboard to make.
That's how I
Thingies.
perceive it. I don't know if I'm correct or not.
I would
I'm no
wager.
scientist.
I would believe you, Matt.
Thank you. I don't believe.
So that's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Pittsburgh ones in here. A lot of
Ooh.
cool shit going down in Pittsburgh.
Good job, Pittsburgh.
The polio vaccine,
Oh,
also created in Pittsburgh in 1955. Originally called Beano. Bingo was invented in the early 1920s by Hugh J. Ward.
I think Beano now is for like gas pain.
It
yes,
is, yeah,
that is
it
correct.
That wasn't created in Pittsburgh though.
And
You
where
are correct.
else? Pittsburgh. You know why they called it Beano?
Because it alleviates gas pain.
that could be, but
Because it was BEANO.
No, because
No.
they use beans as the placeholders.
as
on them.
markers. Correct.
Beano. Very
correct,
good, very
correct.
good.
Now, I did know this one, but I still think it's interesting. And maybe people didn't know this, but during World War II, the Eagles and Steelers combined to form the Steagles.
I knew that.
I
And-
did
I
not.
saw that
know
on
Yeah.
that ESPN special.
And that was in 1943. They actually had a winning record.
Mm.
So that was, because,
They didn't have anybody to play
Yeah,
because they were
nobody
all
could
at
play.
war.
yeah, we could have probably played NFL back then.
Yeah.
During World War II.
Yep. I bet you I can throw that ball over that mountain.
Yeah, that's right. Uncle Rico.
Mhm.
So if it wasn't the guys that were drafted or in war, so apparently these guys were like either injured or
Yeah, flat-footed and whatever else.
And Vietnam, for the Vietnam War, they called them conscientious objectors.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
religion.
Also, back in the 40s, they called them draft dodgers.
Draft Dodgers. Yeah.
Not the Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, or the LA Dodgers.
Yes, none of those teams.
The Big Mac, invented by Jim Delegati. He owned McDonald's franchises near Pittsburgh.
Yep.
It was first served up in 1967 in Uniontown, which is south of Pittsburgh and near Ohio Pile State Park,
Hmm.
which I heard is like a really cool state park with whitewater rafting.
Do you guys remember you got the McDonald's record in the mail that gave you the McDonald's menu?
A record?
It was a record. You played it. It was a flimsy
Yeah. It was
And
a square.
a square. Exactly. It was a square.
It was transparent. Or I should say translucent.
Translucent.
Yep.
You'd play it on a record player.
Yeah, and it went big Mac McDLT, a quarter pounder with some cheese fillet,
Filet,
fish and hamburger, cheeseburger, Happy Meal, McNuggets, tasty golden French fries, regular or larger size of salad, chef or garden or chicken salad, Oriental, big breakfast, segment muffin, hot cakes, sausage, maybe biscuits, and 4 dessert varieties of hot apple pie, chocolate chip cookie, whatever bullshit.
Wow.
But this whole thing, you never had that?
I kind of vaguely remember when you're saying that. Was it kind of like everybody got one? Like
Yeah,
coupon
they got you
clipper or
in the
whatever?
mail. It was in the mail.
Everybody in the known universe received one. P.S. I miss desperately the chicken salad Oriental. That salad was
I
banging
don't
good.
remember that.
That had those the crispy.
Yep.
Like wonton.
Yeah, the
thing.
wontons.
The weird, like the weird little Chinese crunchy noodle
Like
things.
fried noodles. Yeah.
Yeah. God damn, that salad was so good.
But it had some cool stuff that would come in the mail. But yeah, it was an actual it was a square record.
I don't remember that.
Put the needle
So
on the
look
record.
look on eBay, see if we can find one.
That'd probably be millions of dollars.
So check this out, Matt. Matt, it might be millions of dollars. You're
Maybe
right.
not.
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
not. Matt, you'll like this one.
Okay.
This is up your alley because you have a personal connection to this.
I thought you were going to say I had a bowling alley in my house.
No.
But no. Okay.
Now, Zap, I don't know if you're fans of these or not, but the Bantam Car Company, whose headquarters were in Butler, PA, invented the Jeep.
Oh.
The U.S. military gave the plans to Ford and Willys Overland, believing they could produce the amount of vehicles they needed. So it was for, World War II, I guess they were ramping up. They wanted this, utility vehicle to basically use.
Do you know why it's called Jeep?
Yeah, because of the model number or model that they used was the Ford GPW, and the GP they say was shortened, but they just kind of came
It
up
was
as Jeep.
either like general purpose. It was a vehicle.
General
but it
purpose vehicle.
So
There it goes.
it wasn't armored, and it wasn't for anything specific. It was just general purpose, point A to point B. So
Yep.
general purpose. I need a GP. I need a Jeep.
Jeep, there it is. Yeah,
And that's the Willies or Willis, depending on who you talk to.
What
That
you
was-
talking about, Willis?
The Willis,
Exactly.
the Willys
Willis.
Overland. So you have a Jeep that's got Willys on the
Yes,
on the
yes.
and this Overland I've seen that and like the fancier
The Jeep Overland or like
yeah,
one of the
the
higher ends now,
top-
but when they
the
have
top
them,
end
when
one,
they have
yeah.
them in,
Matt, when you drive by another Jeep driver, do you wave?
the
yes, you do the
little- the two finger
my
thing.
poor Jeep's still getting worked on.
Aren't you?
It's been like
Special.
3 months.
So the cost of a World War II Jeep at the time. Want to take a guess? Now, this is what the military.
Oh,
was paying.
$364.
Is that?
I will say. So let me.
You got to remember, it came in a box and you put them together.
This is World War something. World War II.
World War II.
I will say $1,499.
Well, if we're doing like prices right without going over, Matt would be closer. But it's $738.74.
God damn, I doubled that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would win
per
the
unit.
Jeep.
Matt, you always win.
That was the cost per unit.
That's
yeah.
why
So-
you get the two fingers.
So at that time, Ford was making them. That was the GPW, like Zap was referencing, and then the Willys MB was the other manufacturer that was making it. So the Ford basically took the plans and everything and basically slapped their engine in it or whatever else. So
Ford always stealing shit.
yeah. So here's a fun fact. PA fun fact.
Fun fact.
PA produced over 75% of the world's oil in 1881.
That makes sense. Titusville.
Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. I thought that was pretty interesting. Did you know there's only one town in PA? Bloomsburg.
Interesting.
What do you
So
mean,
everything else
considered a
everything
town?
else is a borough or a township
Mm.
or a city.
Correct.
Inter something.
Yeah.
Huh.
Thought that was interesting.
Bloomsburg.
Bloomsburg.
Mm.
Yeah.
College
Or-
there.
If you were for Spain, it's Bloomsburgo.
Bloomsburgo.
Like Harrisburgo.
That's right.
Harrisburgo.
Pittsburgho.
Winter Wonderland, the song,
Mm-hmm.
is about Central Park in Honesdale, PA. Is that how you say that? Honesdale?
I think so.
Yeah. It was written by Dick Smith, and he was a Honesdale native.
Hmm.
That song is about a park up there. I don't know where Honesdale is. I didn't look that up on the map.
I have to check out. I'm going to look for Winter Wonderland in Honesdale. I'm going to take the fam
Yeah,
to
right.
the Winter Wonderland,
It's
the original.
their Central Park. The nearly 3 billion crayons produced by Crayola every year are all made in PA. All the manufacturing happens in the
You
state.
can
of
tour that
Pennsylvania.
facility there.
That's
the Crayola.
near Philadelphia, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
going up
east,
that way.
Is that out
Easton.
Easton, PA? Yeah, so it's like north of Philly. Actually, took the family there. We went on a little mini vacation there. When they were real little.
They make baseball bats up there too.
Yeah, Easton.
Easton, I think that is in Northampton County. I think.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Northumberland.
Yeah,
Northumberland.
yeah.
It is Northampton.
Zap, you might be familiar with this because you live there. The Harry Packer Mansion in Jim Thorpe.
Oh, that is in Jim Thorpe.
Yes.
That's absolutely correct. It's on the hill right above what is now the courthouse, but yeah, it's right up the hill.
So that was used as inspiration for the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. Yeah.
Cash me outside. How about that?
So 2 more here. Beaver Stadium is the 3rd largest stadium in the world. That's where Penn State plays.
The world.
100 and what thousand?
In the world.
So after what? Wembley and what?
Michigan's up there.
Probably Michigan. I don't know. I don't know what the second one would be, but
Wembley's pretty fucking big.
Wembley is. Yeah, I don't know how many it seats or what the. This is all according to Uncovering PA.
And I could be way the hell off on
And-
Wembley Stadium.
No, because I know Michigan has the largest in
in the
U.S.
Yeah.
and they're like 130, 126.
yeah.
and Beaver's like 116.
And
like
I remember one of the WrestleManias when it was at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Oh yeah,
The Pontiac Silverdome.
That was a cool. You should see. There's a video on YouTube of the Pontiac Silverdome. This guy goes into like places that are falling apart, run down, and that place is it's still there.
Is it really? I thought they tore it down.
Half demolished. I mean, at this time it was maybe since then, but this guy went in and was like walking around. It's like a ghost town, obviously, in there.
Where's that? Is that in Detroit?
Yeah, Pontiac.
Michigan. Yeah, they're saying like some of the worst places are the most crime. There's like 5 or 6 of them in Michigan.
I believe
it's like Detroit, Pontiac, Lansing, like these places.
So back to Beaver Stadium, when at capacity, it holds more people than all but 3 PA cities. And we know that's Philly, Pittsburgh. I don't know what the third one would be.
Allentown?
Maybe Allentown. I don't know.
Bethlehem, is Bethlehem up there?
I don't know with population.
Erie?
Allentown's bigger than Erie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be Allentown then.
Last but not least, the world's first commercial radio station began broadcasting in Pittsburgh again on November 2nd, 1920. And the name of the station was KDKA.
KDKA Radio.
First in the world. I thought that was wild.
That's wild.
In Pittsburgh.
A lot of stuff going on in Pittsburgh.
Maybe the
Wild
aliens
stallions.
landed in Pittsburgh.
Now, I don't know if this is going to air before or after, but we did the movie Juice. And Zap had a fun fact about 40s, Colt 45.
Yeah.
So we could add that one in there. What was that one? Just in case that they didn't catch it or it didn't come out yet?
So there's a bar in Harrisburg called Piccolo's.
Mm-hmm.
They were at one time the #1 retail sales establishment of Colt 45 across the whole damn United States.
That's crazy.
The Piccolo's is on what? Cameron?
No, that's 17th Street.
17th.
Yeah, they're also known for their crab cakes.
Nope.
Like really good crab cakes.
Yep.
No, you know who had the best crab cakes in Harrisburg?
Progress
mom.
Grill.
No. It's closed now. It was called the Divot. It was right by your house.
Yeah, the Divot.
The
Interestingly
Divot. Now,
enough,
see if you haven't been to the Divot.
I know.
Yeah, sleeping on that.
I know a woman who used to cook at the Divot.
Yeah, well, Joe Beth.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know her.
Biggie ups to Joe Beth.
Yeah. She was great. I used to go in there all the time. My dad, we'd go in there after McDevitt football games on Saturday. They had a great deal. Now, this is back in like 88, 89. 2 steak dinners, $14.95.
Dang.
New York strip steak, baked potato, salad, whatever, side. I'll never forget they had the sign up, $14.95. So we used to get that, and I love their crab cakes.
Yeah,
Great
Divot had
crab
some great
cakes.
crab cakes.
Yeah, so that was the other thing that I had, some fun facts on.
Double D's, what was that used to be called?
Double D's Tavern.
Wasn't that Frank's?
Frank's Tavern. Yeah, that was down on 17th
that was
on the other
Frank's.
end.
Mm-hmm.
Or 19th Street.
19th
I'm sorry.
Street.
Yeah,
19th and
Street.
Brookwood.
19th and Brookwood, yeah.
And then another place that I think that we went to try to get beer, or 40s at the time, Rusty Nail.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, that got me thinking. I went by a local establishment here. It's Aruga's now. It used to be Kokomo's. They
Yep.
had a sign out on Wednesdays, 69-cent wings all day.
Oh, that's expensive.
Think about back in the day, we had 10-cent wings.
Yep.
That was like,
Yep.
it's just amazing the price of wings now.
I'll take that a step further. I can remember being a kid and my mom going to the local store, and I'm saying like the corner store just down the street, Chubb's Market.
Right.
So they had a little butcher thing, and they would chop up the chickens, and you could buy the wings and you could buy the breasts and the thighs and the legs, whatever. The wings, they were throwing that shit away.
That's wild.
They were absolutely throwing it away. So my mom would say, hey, look, if you're throwing it away, I'll take those wings. She would bake them off, and I would just watch her just strip the meat off of these bones and turn it into like a chicken salad, or turn it into some kind of
pot pie or something.
some casserole, some pot pie, some shit. But it was free chicken. It was garbage. It was stuff they were just
getting
throwing
rid of it.
away.
It's amazing.
Take this chicken and eat it. We don't need this chicken.
Well, I just think about all those. Chickens are making because wings are. Think about how many wings they sell. Like wings are huge now. And they have been for the past what?
They're saying that they're like
20+ years.
some sort of
years.
sludge, like how the McDonald's burger was. They're saying like the wings that you're eating now aren't real. I don't know if
Get the fuck out of here.
they're saying where are they producing these chickens? Where
That's
are these
what
chickens
I'm
coming
thinking
from?
about
China?
all the breast and the other parts like that. Like, are they selling, that many chicken breasts and
Why do you think?
So
why do you think there's so many diseases and weirdness and weird stuff in America?
So
this shit doesn't exist.
Look, we can start in a bunch of different places, but so we're going backwards just quickly. Look at the size of a chicken when you go to a Costco or a Sam's Club. They're rotisseries that they're selling
to a real chicken.
Correct.
Looks like
those chickens. Those chickens are the size of a turkey.
It's like the Rock.
Yeah.
Chicken version,
Correct.
Honestly, yeah, real chicken size. If you see those little ones that like peck at the ground on like a real farm,
that's a real chicken.
That's a real chicken. But if it would look more like a pheasant, a real chicken.
Yep.
And the ones like you said you get at Costco,
you could feed like 20 people.
They are the size of turkeys. Now to follow up on the prices, when you say think about all the wings or whatever that takes. So people are, at least for a while, were into, I want boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and now there's boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then there's obviously for every chicken you're only getting 2 wings, unless you're getting some kind of mutant chicken that's now growing like 6 wings. But that notwithstanding, you could go to around here a local grocer, Carnes, and you get the pieces that people don't necessarily want to buy, but they're willing to spend at least something on it to get. So you'll get chicken quarters. You'll get legs with the skin connected to the thigh, still with the skin, but it's dirt. It's 59 cents a pound.
Yeah, dirt
49 cents a pound for a good amount of meat with all the bone and stuff. But dude, that's compared to wings, what they're going for per pound versus breast and stuff like that,
which used to be dirt.
Correct.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it's just this flip flop, and eventually, I don't know, maybe it's like loose fitting jeans. Maybe they'll come back.
Skinny jeans.
Back around.
No, but it's weird that at Carnes, where do you think they get their chicken from?
Local farms?
No.
China.
South Carolina.
China.
Oh, really? South Carolina?
Yeah, the chicken's from South Carolina. Because the one day I was like, man, this chicken is great. Is this local? The guy's like, nah. And he looked at the box. He had the box. Where they go in and grab it with their big glove?
Yeah.
He goes to the box. He pulls up the thing. He's like, nah, South Carolina.
South Kakalaki.
I was like, they don't even know where it's from.
You don't even know.
Comes in on buses and trains and planes.
And automobiles.
Very good.
Hey, looks like we got a caller here.
What?
Of course we do.
How dare they?
Yeah. Nutley Nick, you there?
Wait, is that... Who is this? Nutley Nick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me tap him in here. Nutley, you there?
Hey, everybody.
There he is.
Hey, Dr. Nick.
What's going on?
Is this Nutley?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
All right.
You're kind of hard to understand. Like you have like some sort of West Virginian accent.
Yeah, right. So I heard you got something you wanted to pitch to Zap.
Yeah, I have this idea about a vintage album review, maybe once a month on the podcast.
I'm all in. Let's make this happen. And you heard it here. Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Let's make this dream a reality.
Yeah, I had some ideas about it. Like the Slippery When Wet. It launched.
Whoa!
It launched Bon Jovi into the stratosphere. AC/DC's Back in Black, the first one with Brian Johnson. That might be a good one.
Huh.
The Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. That blew them up.
Absolutely. And you're talking about, and I like where your head's at. You're using the albums that really, of the 3 bands you just mentioned, those were the albums that made them. Absolutely made them. Not necessarily their first albums, but those were the albums that really launched them. Yeah, I'm all for that.
That's a whole thing on VH1.
So you guys think that'd be good?
Yeah, that's cool. I dig that.
Let's do it, man. Let's make it happen.
How about the Alan Parsons Project?
Okay.
I don't know that one.
We just had 3 great suggestions from Nutley Nick. Let's start there, and we'll go from there.
How about
I got another suggestion. Def Leppard's Hysteria.
I'll be on that.
Oh, Hysteria, not Pyromania.
What was first? Pyro?
Pyromania was first in '83. The song with Photograph and everything.
I don't want your.
Hysteria launched them into another tax bracket.
When I get that feeling,
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Nutley Pinfield, the guy from MTV.
Yeah, Matt Pinfield.
Yeah.
Nah, Ricky Rackman.
Ricky Rackman.
All day. Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball.
Nutley Rackman.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. So what we'll discuss like where they started or where they were at this album or what their career was like, just different things. Talk about the songs.
Yeah, what I had in my head was, all right, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. that really broke them. You Give Love a Bad Name was their first single, but then when Live It on a Prayer came out, that just the album sales went through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I know Zap, you're a big Bon Jovi fan, as am I.
Yep.
And we both feel that like New Jersey is a better album.
100%.
But this is the one. I mean, we could do New Jersey at another time.
No, I'm with you. No, I like your stream of thought. Again, look, while they might have had later or in this case later albums that were phenomenal, it's the same thing with what I had mentioned. Hysteria versus Pyromania. We're looking at the album that took them from X to Y, and yeah, that makes sense. I mean, these guys, Bon Jovi, as if we're using that. I mean, these guys they had, of course, their initial. They had 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. It truly was Slippery When Wet that just launched them, absolutely launched them. Dude, I like where your head's at. I like your style. I like your moves. Let's make this happen, dude. Come on in.
All right, Nutley. Sounds like it's going to be a go.
I don't know. Maybe we can go down track by track. What's your favorite one? What's your least favorite? Something like that. Did
the
you
whole
see him
album.
in concert,
Dude, we will get down and dirty on this album. Absolutely.
So vintage album review, look for that here in 20.
So the first one will be Slippery When Wet. Is that what we're
Sounds
calling
like
it?
it, maybe.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
First one.
Okay.
Slippery When Wet.
All right. I'll sit in for that.
We're both big Bon Jovi fans.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd be anxious to hear your two expertise on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I know a little bit about it, but it's not really
Wasn't
mine.
Springsteen from Jersey?
Springsteen, Sinatra, Bon Jovi.
Yeah, they got some good ones there.
Nutley. Yeah.
Yeah.
New Jersey Nutley.
Jersey Nutley.
You put my picture up?
I will. I got to edit this. We'll get it in there.
Yeah.
On the phone, Nutley Nick.
Actually, the next
ya.
time we do this with the cameras, I'll just get a Nutley Nick mask
Just wear it.
and just wear it through
That'd
the
be
whole
cool.
thing.
Yeah. All right,
you go.
all right, Nutley, we got to wrap this up. I'll talk to you.
It's been real. Have a great night.
You too,
Yep,
brother.
thanks,
brother.
Later, man.
Later.
And one last thing. Go Mountaineers.
I knew that.
All
was
right,
There you
coming.
go.
God damn it, I knew that was coming.
All right, Nutley.
All right, see ya.
Later. All right, fellas. Well, that was a fun episode.
I thought you said, like your dad should have done. Should have wrapped it up.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Oh, too
Yeah,
soon.
Too soon, right? But yeah, that was fun, guys. I enjoyed all the stuff you covered. I hope
Yeah,
you're seeing the
Freestyle
same.
Friday is a thing. I think.
Fun, yeah,
I like
yeah,
it. So we're gonna have super happy album Thursdays.
Vintage album review. We'll just put that out like this, kind of like
Yeah,
a fun thing to do every now and then. And
Sure.
I'd like to hear these guys talk albums and stuff. I think it'd be
Featuring
cool.
Nutley.
Yeah. Too bad we couldn't play the actual music and then comment on it. But
See, that would be fun. Like how do we do that? How do
you
we
got to
get
get a
around
lawyer
that
and you
thing?
got to get
We have a lawyer.
rights. Well, we do have JW.
I love that you start with, you got to get a lawyer.
Yep, you got a lawyer up, but you have to get those rights.
You need. I'm sure Elon Musk.
I mean, we could reach out to Bon Jovi and say,
Yes,
hey, can we use
Elon Musk, if you're listening, I love you in a non-sexual, non-gay way.
Right.
I think you are an incredible, incredible human being. Please consider sponsoring this podcast.
We would love it. Yeah, definitely.
I don't think we'd have to work then. If Elon's like, you know what, you guys,
I like what you're doing. Yeah.
here's $3 million. Let's see what you can do with that.
We could afford to take the fines if we use music. In other words, if Elon was
We could do this.
covering us.
We could do this part of the basement exactly how you would like it. It would be fantastic.
I like it like this. We're working on it. Zap's got some carpenter skills.
And I will be applying those carpenter skills very soon.
Yep.
So you can hit the laugh track.
Today's not the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I should have, but it's on the other
I
page.
was waiting to hear the gunshot.
Oh yes, one of them.
Yeah, let me see if I can get here. So what were you saying, Zap? You got some carpenter skills.
Look, go fuck yourself. That was good.
That was good. That was fun.
It was in my head for a second because I'm thinking of this table that we're thinking of.
Right.
But once you get a cover on it, it's anything.
You know,
Yeah.
fun fact, I gutted my entire house down to stud, bitches.
Is it still on?
Damn.
Is it still Studley?
No, it's
Okay.
now manly.
Zap
That's
Vila.
awesome. Well, Studley and Manly.
I
here.
took that whole house down to stud. I did all the electrics, all the drywall, all the plumbing, all the everything. Did the floors, everything.
Did you wear that belt? Like all the stuff, tools.
The tool
in it?
belt. No,
Yeah.
instead I just left my tools laying all over the place, and I would lose them. Now I have like triplicates of tools because I couldn't find them.
Shit, I need a tape measure.
Yeah.
He's buying. I know. I do the same shit.
Yeah, you
all
got
the
like
time.
4 tape. Yeah, and then you end up buying something new, and then you
Right.
find it at some odd place where you were working on something, and you put it down,
Always.
or some place where you think like would make sense to put something, and then Yeah.
I'll put shit up on a shelf and forget, and I'll find it later. Yeah.
Elf on a shelf.
Yeah, that's
Elf on the
all.
Shelf.
Yeah. Elf on
Or
the Shelves.
for our friends celebrating Hanukkah, Mensch on a bench.
That's right. Mentioned that was on Shark Tank.
Was it?
Yeah, Mensch on a bench.
It's one chick I know. She, well, her and her husband are Jewish. They do Mensch on the bench. So she takes the pictures and does all of that shit.
No way,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was a Shark Tank thing, and they sponsor or whatever.
Or,
I guess it's huge now, obviously, and people are using it. So
In Los Angeles, it's Snoop on a stoop.
Snoop on a stoop.
There you go.
Yeah, they
Right.
call it.
So I guess that's it, guys. You got anything else?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
so,
you, Freestyle Friday.
Yeah, welcome to 2024. This should be the new year. This is coming out, and we'll definitely be back with some cool true crimes, compelling stories. Got some fun stuff coming up for sure. Don't forget to check out our vintage cinema review that comes out every other Monday. And I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side,
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
peace. Happy New Year. Thanks for hanging out in the old dirty basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is available streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.